Hello everyone and welcome to the Tokstori Bilong celebration watch party and the launch of the WaSH-W design project. We are absolutely delighted to be with you. We are so excited to share and look at some of these stories. Before we do that, we're just going to do a few introductions and a number of acknowledgements. And what we're going to first start with is an acknowledgement of country for all of us here in Australia. And we know we've got some people viewing from Australia, some from Papua New Guinea, and I'm sure there are some people from around the world even who are joining. But I would like to take a moment to pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging, and the traditional custodians of the land which I'm sitting on, which is the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and ask you to think about the traditional owners of the land you're sitting on as well. And also to pay our acknowledgements and our respects to everyone who is with us and everyone who is watching, or if you're watching the recording. We've already got some awesome comments here. We've got Jeffrey in, we've got Karavat, we've got Pomnat, Ayura. So it's awesome that we've got all of you who are here. And we've actually got Ayura, someone's just joined in while traveling from someone else, and Julie in Townsville. So absolutely amazing. We're so happy to have you. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Your hosts for today are these three beautiful people on the screen. So we have Mehdi, who most of you will have met. So yeah, hopefully a lot of you have met. We also have Maristella, who again, a lot of you will have met, and myself, Chris. And we're just going to be hosting and kind of topping and tailing today. And we also have some special guests. And you will see that we have the team with us. So let's have a little closer look at that lovely team. There we go. So Kathy's here, Aaron's here, Sophie's here, and our special guest Hamish is here as well. I think we might just have lost Maristella, but that's okay. We will work with that. I think Maristella has just popped out for a moment. So Mehdi, if that's okay with you, Mehdi, no pressure. But I might ask you to unmute and just to in a couple of seconds, give us an opening prayer, which is a really important part of the work when we're coming together as educators in Papua New Guinea in particular, to have that opening prayer. But please do get in that chat and keep chatting with us. It's fabulous to see all of those comments coming in. We've got 26 live viewers at the moment, which is wonderful, and lots of chat happening. And Emmeline is doing an amazing job of keeping an eye on that chat, and she'll be bringing it up throughout this kind of little broadcast to you. So Mehdi, have we got Mehdi? Here we go. I think Mehdi might have gone as well. Okay, that's okay. Mehdi and Maristella have abandoned me. Mehdi is back. I'm going to see if we can get her in to do an opening prayer. Otherwise, we will do a closing prayer. So let's see if we can get Mehdi back in. Oh, some of our challenges in connecting. Here we go. Hey, Philip from Mount Hagen. Lovely to see you. Let's bring. Can we bring Mehdi back into the show? Awesome. Hey, Mehdi, thank you so much. Are you good to do an opening prayer for us?
Maristella is not there, right?
Yep, all good. We can hear you. The world of technology, we're just all... You're in now, Mehdi, so if I can unmute you, then if you can do that opening prayer, that'd be brilliant. So I'll just unmute you now. Or can you unmute yourself? There we go. Brilliant. Thanks, Mehdi.
Okay, hi everyone. Let's begin with a short word of prayer. Close your eyes wherever you are, open your eyes. And I'll lead us with a short prayer. Gracious and Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you, God, that we can gather together here this afternoon online to meet each other and to share with each other what has been happening so far. God, we pray and commit this session into your hands, and we invite the Holy Spirit to guide us and see us through as we share this afternoon. I commit every one of us here into your hands, and we pray, Lord, that your Lordship will be with us this afternoon. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
That's wonderful, Mehdi, and thank you so much for doing that. I always love it when we're up in Papua New Guinea and you start those sessions with that thoughtful piece of time. So I'm just going to mute you, Mehdi. Thank you. So let's get looking, and let's have a really quick reflection on some of those real challenges around COVID life. And we all thought this time last year we were so excited to be starting the first courses. In fact, we already had, I think, course one. The principals and leaders were already on their way down, or certainly going to be down in Australia very, very soon, a year ago already. And then we met in Papua New Guinea, and then we had people coming together again in Melbourne. And we've had an amazing time together in our first cohort. And we welcome everyone from our second cohort, who, strangely enough, we haven't really had the opportunity to meet because COVID happened. But what we were really proud of you and just blown away at how amazing you were in your capacity to do this is how we were able to reconnect. And so we worked really hard. And I think one of the things we wanted to share with you is we've always talked about collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creative thinking, character, citizenship, digital literacy, and intercultural understandings as core pillars of the kind of learning experience that we're having together. And it has been absolutely amazing to see that actually what we thought were important capabilities have been not just important, but actually essential capabilities in the way we've been learning during this time of COVID-19. And so it's just wonderful to see and to see all of the examples of how you have demonstrated, both educators, leaders, and also the students that you're working with, all of these capabilities. And we just got a couple of photos which we'll just flick through really quickly of, coming together on Google Meet, the ability to meet and collaborate. This session today is more about information than collaboration, which is why we're using that YouTube platform. But we've been able to come together on numerous occasions. We've had lots of photos of our colleagues in PNG and our colleagues in Australia working online using some of the Google Classroom tools and some of the Google Slides and things like that, just to really connect and collaborate in a digital space. And even though COVID-19 is a terrible, terrible thing, it's had one advantage of accelerating all of this and helping us to learn in this digital space, including virtual reality, people working, I think this is maybe in a hotel, this one, using mobile data to connect, getting in the office on the computer in the school. And I don't know if you can see down here on the right, still having the video call on a telephone. So the ability of people to connect and to continue to connect using technology has just blown us away. You're in there working with Anna, who's done some amazing work around using Google Slides to get you guys to put some information together collaboratively. There's another one of us launching Tokstori, all smiles. And these are some of my favorites. Anna doing her one-to-one calls. And we all know and love Anna and the amazing work she does. Anna doing her one-to-one calls with lots of different people. And I think that might be Raphael on the left-hand side there, who I think is up the mountain. Because I know that there's a different picture here, but we've got some schools who drive up the mountain to get some reception. So amazing commitment to collaborating together. So we launched Tokstori, it feels like a million years ago, but I'm sure it wasn't that long ago. We launched Tokstori as a way to celebrate the amazing things that you are using and you are doing as a community to come together. And we wanted to tap into your creativity and get you to share with us some of that amazing artistic, musical, written, poetic capabilities. I'm just going to come out of this and to share with us those things. So what we've done is, if you haven't seen this yet, I think Em is going to very shortly put up let me just go home, sorry. Is very shortly going to put up the link to the website. So if you still haven't had an opportunity to visit the website, we're going to put the link up for you. There we go. See already. So that will be appearing in your chat in a moment. And you should be able to click on that and go to the website. So on the website, this is just the home page. And then Anna's got a bunch of fascinating stuff around leading learning. But if you go to projects and then you go to voices, COVID-19 response, and the page is called current submissions. And maybe we can even put a link directly to this page. Is we have a list of all of these amazing submissions that you've made. Now, we thought, so this is just the contents. If you want to skip to different ones, you can click on the name of your school. But if you just scroll down, we have had so much. We've had amazing videos from Ayura and Itale, Benala. We've got some beautiful stuff in here. Bundaberg and Gumini working together collaboratively on this, a joint submission. Cherrybrook done some beautiful artwork. Gumini doing some more videos. Hurlson doing some poems and artwork. It is blowing my mind about how amazing all this stuff is. So Caravat, and I'm just going to scroll through for a second just so you get the scale of how amazing this work is. Some beautiful bits of art and some music, lots of original stuff from students. And we were absolutely blown away about just how beautiful and wonderful this work was. So we've got Passam and Port Moresby and St. Gabriel's, and keeps going and going and going. St. Mary's, St. Paul's, Vanimo, and Warwin. I think I'm at the bottom, W. So unbelievable amount of just beautiful artifacts that you created. So what we wanted to do was to pay respects to this, was not to actually go and like click through every single one of these videos, but we would love you to do that. We would love you to go and have a look at all of these submissions and just spend your time with them. But we were really lucky that we have a really fabulous filmmaker who works on this project. And let me just get the video ready. And what Baden, who's our filmmaker, did was he took all of your bits of projects and he's put them together in a short video. So it's a really beautiful kind of summary of all of the submissions. But we do also want you to go and have a look on the website at the individual submission. So we're going to watch this video now, and then we're going to have a special guest just give us a couple of words about his reaction to the video. So please enjoy.
Who knew that life depends on washing of hands? Who knew that isolating yourself from the society was saving the society?
Rule number 1 in school, sitting one to a desk. This to prevent them from contacting with coronavirus through sharing objects and touching each other.
How can I be a social being when I'm told to be isolated? How can I shake your hands when I'm told to keep my distance?
These four walls seem smaller than they did a few months ago. Being kept inside is making time go by so slow.
A thief, an insidious thief, started with a few, now with a million. He may find you, for he's an infectious villain.
Masks and sanitizers, our shields of defense. Human bonding that once ties us became our greatest offense.
Just a breath is all it takes to be infected. Wear a mask and it will be prevented. Stay sanitized to prevent the nation from being traumatized.
So we absolutely would love you to, spend a little bit of time going through the website. It's such and thanks for Karen, loving the compilation video, and wonderful to see those highlights. But we would so love you to go on the website and have a look at those individual submissions as well. So I'm just going to welcome a very good friend of mine, the Executive Director of Asia Education Foundation, Hamish Curry. And Hamish is going to give his reflections, because obviously Aaron and Mehdi and Maristella and Sophie and Emily and Kathy and Anna and I are totally biased. We think you're amazing, and we just love you so much. But we wanted to bring in someone from a little bit outside of the project to bring in their point of view. And I'm going to invite Hamish to share with us a few words around his perspective on that.
Thank you very much, Chris. Well, what can I say in following up such an incredible video that only just scratches the surface in the storytelling and creativity that's been happening between Australia and Papua New Guinea. And I want to begin by acknowledging the Indigenous lands on which we're all gathered today, in coming together, in sharing the culture and stories, and the shared effort around uniting around the common challenges we find in this world today. I also want to acknowledge the wonderful support of the Australian High Commission, Australia Awards PNG, and our partners with Coffee International, with Asia Education Foundation in this project. And of course, the incredible effort of everyone and the departments of education involved in making this type of program possible. But really, that video just highlights how amazing not only schools are taking this work, but also the work of teachers and the incredible energy of students in their creativity. And I think what we're all finding is really like that first sentence from Wawin National High School, which was, that life has changed somehow. We're all finding ourselves now in quite a unique environment where our resilience is being tested. And certainly what we find in this time when our resilience is being tested is some inner strength to find others that we can connect to. So I do hope that while we're in this period now, and just after seeing that video, I'd love to see your comments and reactions to that video. What did you think? What memories are jogging for you? What other ideas have you got? What other ways could we build on this Tokstori Bilong and the work that you're doing together? It really is quite remarkable. And I think that that's often what we find, that when you face really big challenges, people's creativity and innovation tends to ignite. We find other ways around the problem. And I think that's what these Tokstori Bilong videos and activities, we've got elements there of art and music, slam poetry, all sorts of things that allow people to express in other ways what we're doing. But there are some really, really practical things in there as well. We've seen some amazing work happening there on the installation of water taps. We've seen some amazing activities and instructional work there from Andertale about hygiene and social distancing. We've seen some work there on well-being. And of course, too, there's all those opportunities then for schools collectively as a partnership, including Bundaberg State High School and Gumine Secondary School, being able to actually share some work together and actually look at how they're developing their partnership together. I think what's really important to understand is that kind of creativity requires lots of new skills. And I hope that all of you that have been involved in the project so far are finding and learning and reflecting on those new skills, because those technology skills that took just to put those videos together, to capture, to upload, to navigate all the Google Classroom things that Chris and Anna and the team have been doing with you, they are really powerful skills. The skills that we all know are now needed much more in the world that we're in and how life has changed to navigate the digital space even more. So I certainly encourage all of you to keep going. Keep navigating that digital space. Look for ways to connect and to communicate. And they're really the outcomes of this past program partnership, which is being able to develop the intercultural understanding, that shared element of where we challenge maybe some of our assumptions about what's going on in the world, but then finding some mutual connections. Also, ways of communicating. We've seen there lots of different ways to communicate, and I know that there's going to be many more stories to come. But most importantly, I think one of the elements that this the work reminds me of is how important citizenship is, not just at the local level in your school communities and in your local communities, but finding a citizenship of being open and being shared and connected with one another. And this is really the work that the PASS program is all about. So congratulations again on some wonderful work done so far by all the schools between Australia and Papua New Guinea in this program. And I'm so excited to see what you're going to do next. Keep each other positive, look after each other, and I'm certainly excited to see what's going to come next. Thanks, Chris.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Hamish. So wonderful to get that perspective. And I'm glad that it wasn't just my biased nature, which thought it was brilliant. So it's great to have that perspective in here from Hamish. I'm just loving all of these comments coming in. It is so awesome to see that you all talking to each other in that chat, and not forgetting that, you know, we have all those means of communication. We've got the WhatsApp, we've got the Google Classroom, so we've got a ton of other ways that we can be communicating as well. So what we're going to do is, because we love the video so much, and I'm sure you love it as well, is at the end of this session, which is probably in about 15 minutes or so, we will play the video again because we love it, and we'll also send a link out to you so that you can have a look at that. Just a reminder that the YouTube channel, the YouTube link you're on right now, the recording of this webinar will also remain on that, as will your chat. So if you ever want to come back and to visit and watch this again, or share it with your colleagues, I know some of our friends were unable to join us right now, so we'll be able to share around this. Sorry, that's my dog who's just saying hello by barking really loudly. So I do apologize for that. So what we're going to do right now is just move on to the second part of today's webinar. Is we're going to have a little look at WaSH-W. So we have a new project that we're going to launch with you. This is a project which is designed to be done in lots of different ways, and I'll take you through that in a moment in terms of how you might want to run this project in your schools or in your communities. But the project itself is focused, it is certainly an education project, but it is focused really on WaSH-W, which is one of our health outcomes. And the health outcome of WaSH-W is water, sanitation, hygiene. And that's the WaSH, which lots of organizations, I know in Papua New Guinea, for example, we talk a lot about WaSH as a strategy, but we've added a little W on the end as well for wellness or well-being. And we think that's really important because at the time of COVID-19, which we're living in right now, the water, sanitation, hygiene are really important, but so is our well-being, our mental health, our wellness as humans. And so we want to help you to focus on that. We're also using design thinking, which a lot of you have used as a process. And we are going to provide you with a bunch of resources to support you to do a design project around water, sanitation, hygiene, and well-being. So all I'm going to do is just give you a little bit of context. As you know, one of the things we're passionate about in this project are the Sustainable Development Goals, and this idea of Goal 3, good health and well-being, and Goal 6, clean water and sanitation in particular, at the moment are really important around COVID-19. So we just want to kind of highlight that we're tapping into our Sustainable Development Goals. We continue to tap into our capabilities as well, and that we're going to be using Google Classroom as a platform again for this project. So if you're not in Google Classroom, most of you are. I think we've got nearly 90 or something educators in Google Classroom right now. Most of you are, but if you're not yet in Google Classroom, we will let us know, and we will definitely make sure we get you in there. But what I'm going to do is just drop out of my slideshow. Hey, Mary, good to see you back. Oh, she's going. And she's gone. We're having just a couple of tiny connection issues, but we'll keep working on that. So yes, so I think we're going to bring Marcel and Mehdi, my co-hosts, back in because I think they're managing to reconnect now, which is awesome. Here we go. I missed you, ladies. I felt abandoned, but I'm glad you're back with me. So what we're going to do is go from Google Classroom. Let me just open that up. And there are two places that we would love you to go right now. The first one being, sorry, I'm just trying to do two things at once here, not doing a very good job of either of them. The first thing is that if you go to the website, which we've already posted, and you go to projects, you'll see that there is Project WaSH-W. Mehdi, I'm just getting a tiny little bit of feedback, so if you can mute yourself for now, that would be awesome. Thanks, Mehdi. So Project WaSH, and what we've got in Project WaSH on the website is a bunch of resources for you and an explanation of the project. So what we want to do is to help you to use design thinking to really tackle some of those issues around water, sanitation, and hygiene. We've built a little bunch of instructional videos. So each of these short videos give you some explanation about the kind of learning journal in terms of what's in there and how you might use it. So there's some instructional videos there. And then we've actually got all of the resources. Now, there are a couple of things. In PNG, we have supplied some hard copies of these. So if they're not already in your school, they'll be getting to your school very soon. And then if you want to have a downloaded copy, you can download the PDF here, or you can use this copy, which is built in Google Slides. So let me just show you what this looks like. This is the Project WaSH-W Learning Journal. Oops, I've skipped forward in these. And what this does is it takes you through the whole process, and you could use this as a learning journal with a class. You might want to use it as a learning journal as a co-curricular. I've got Maristella back in now as well. Good to see you, Mary. Mehdi, if you don't mind muting, that'd be awesome, Mehdi. I just don't think I can mute you from here. Not that I ever want you not to be talking or hear you, but just for a couple of minutes. Beautiful. So we've got this learning journal, which is there's a digital version, so you could use it digitally if you wanted to, or there is a printable version as well. And essentially, it's pretty self-explanatory. All of the videos explain the sections, but it uses design thinking, which is about empathy, definition, ideation, and prototyping to take you through some STEM kind of focused and English focused activities, which you can use with your, as I was saying before, with your students, or you might want to use it in a co-curricular club, or you could even invite your communities to take part in this kind of work. And essentially what we're asking you to do is to have a think about how you can improve or build solutions to some of those WaSH-W challenges in your own school communities. That's both in PNG and in Australia. So there's a bunch of stuff in here, and I won't go through every page. There's quite a lot of pages. I'm just reminding you about the process. And then in terms of empathy, we've given you a lot of text. So this is really great to use with students. We've given you some infographic, which the students can then draw data from and information from. We've given you some texts from the world's largest lesson and the UN. So we've got some things around clean water and sanitation texts. We've also got some maths. So if you love maths as much as me, you can figure out the R0 of COVID. So the R0 is the number, the reproductive number, which tells you how, on average, how many people, if you had COVID-19, how many people you might infect. So you can figure out how infection actually spreads. So it's a really wonderful maths activity around kind of exponential growth. So there's a couple of maths activities in there for students to do. And we would love you to do the whole project. If you decide that you can't do the whole project, but you want to use bits of it, please do that. We've got some data from on death rates, on unsafe water sources, COVID-19 cases. We've also got some really great text about some of the markets in Papua New Guinea and the impact of COVID on the markets in Papua New Guinea. So there's tons of stuff for both PNG students and teachers and Australian students and teachers to learn more about COVID and its impact through texts and data. We've got some generating questions toolkit. So for those of you who did the student-centered learning activity with Tom Barrett and I in March, oh my goodness, it seems like a lifetime ago when we were up in March, and we were sharing some ideas and some activities with you. Generating questions toolkit is one of those, so coming up with lots of questions, interviewing people and their reactions to COVID-19, coming up with some how might we questions. So for example, how might we ensure that every member of our school community understands COVID-19 and the implications of the disease, or how might we reimagine the way we manage WaSH at our school in order to improve well-being for all students and teachers. So we've got some example questions for you here, or you might want to come up with your own. coming up with lots of ideas. And again, we've got little videos to just give you more detail on all of these sections, and then building yourself a kind of prototype. And what we would love is, if you're willing and happy and able to do that, would be for you to share back your prototypes with us. So I'm just going to give you some dates, and then I'm going to show you some more of the resources that we've got to support you. The launch is today, so we're launching. Look at the timing. Google Classroom will be automatically sending you an assignment if you're in Google Classroom at 4 p.m., which it is right now. So hopefully that will be magically happening in the background. There'll be an assignment pushed out with all of the resources to you. On the 17th of August at 3 p.m., if anyone wants to drop into Classroom and take part in a chat there with me, if you've got any questions, you've got anything that you want to share, I'll be available for a live chat in Classroom on Monday, the 17th of August. And if you can't remember all these dates, don't worry, we will send them out to you via the Tokstori newsletter or an email, just so that you know all about it. And then what we would love is if you decide that you go on and you develop some prototypes, some more ideas around how we can tackle WaSH-W, we would love to share some of them back as an exhibition of learning on the 7th of September at about 3:30. So a similar process to Tokstori is we're going to give you a month or so to have a go at this if you want to develop some solutions and just in prototype stage, and then to share them back to us as an exhibition of learning. And we'll try and get some more special guests to come along and look at your wonderful ideas and prototypes at that point as well. So the things that we've got to support you with that. Good, oh, brilliant, Samson. Good to not see you, Samson. Good to hear from you. He's from the comfort of his office, has managed to join us, which is wonderful. So a couple of the things that we've got to support you. We've got, let me just jump back here. On the website, we have the learning journal. We also have a teacher's guide. So this just tells you like some ideas around who could do the project. It might be that you want to do it with a maths class or a science class or an extracurricular or even the community. We would love, and we appreciate how challenging this can be, but we would love to see if any schools, Australian and PNG schools, want to do this together and actually partner on it. We would love to see that. That would be absolutely amazing. So we've got some guidance, how long you might want to spend on it, what resources do you need, and what support do you have with running the project. So all of that is in the teacher's guide. And the last thing I'm going to show you is in Classroom. Oh, it's gone live, which is awesome. So in Classroom now, in the stream will update shortly. In classwork, you've got a new, I've lost it. What have I done with this? Oh. I think I might have just broken the internet. Hang on. There will be any minute. I'm sure it was there like 2 seconds ago as I saw it. There is a bunch of, oh, I do know where it is. I'm logged into a different account. So any minute now, you will see in your accounts all of the instructions, all of the pieces that you need, including the PDFs and the live digital versions of these documents will appear in Google Classroom for you. I just am not in that class, which is very silly. I do have 3 monitors open at the moment and about 75 tabs, so I do apologize for that. And you'll be able to see that in your classroom any second now. Once it arrives there, there are a couple of options, and you can either, here we go, let me just cheat a little bit, and here we go. Pull another tab in here. I have another bunch of windows. It looks a bit like this. And inside it, you've got all of the instructions are there. If I view the assignment, you'll also see that you have these attachments are all here in the assignment. So the way we would love you to do this is to work through this in whatever way works for you. And then if you have a photograph of your prototype that you might want to build. So for example, I know Julie was asking about the taps that have been installed in some of the schools. Like that is a perfect design project. So it might even be that you can share some of those prototypes as well. You can either email it to admin+wash@papsi.org, as it tells you here, or you can also, you'll have a slightly different view, but you'll have a view where you will be able to add your own submissions in there in the way we did for Tokstori for some people. So there's a bunch of information. Luckily, we have recorded this webinar, so you can always go back and watch it. But if at any time you have any questions, then you can absolutely jump on and ask those questions of us via email or in Google Classroom, and we will get right back to you as soon as we can to share that. So let me just come back here, come back to this one. So that is out and out live to you now. And if you need any help with that, just shout out. We would love to see some more of your ideas. And just to really quickly recap, today's the launch. On the 17th of August, I will be available for a live chat in Google Classroom. So if you're in Google Classroom, you've got questions, you can go on the stream and live chat with me and I can help you then. Or if you want to put any into the WhatsApp, I can certainly help you there as well. And then on the 7th of September, we would love to have some examples to share back with the rest of the group and hopefully some special guests as well. So can I just say amazingly big thank you to Emmeline, whose secret name is Past Admin, who is posting lots of, and whoever else is doing the posting, and there are lots of information in the chat and lots of links in the chat. And what we're going to do now is a couple of things. We're going to go for a little, I think I've missed out in the chat, but either Medio Maristella. I'm not sure who's going to do the closing. But whoever wants to do the closing will do the closing, and then we're going to play the video again just to close us out. I think Maristella is going to do that in terms of a closing for us. So I'll pass over to you, Maristella, and if there are any questions, just pop them in the chat. So, do you just want to unmute Maristella?
Thank you, Chris. And thank you, everyone, the partner schools in Papua New Guinea for joining. We'd like to sincerely thank you for all the work that you have put together to creating the beautiful pieces that are coming in. They're very creative and innovative pieces, and we've enjoyed seeing some of those, especially reading the poems and enjoying listening to some of the songs. That was really great. A few reminders just regarding our school partnership program, our projects that you started working on from last year. It's actually going to be due on the 30th of August. Is it, Chris, or September?
September.
September. So it's actually the due date for all school partnerships projects is on the 30th of September. So you've got about 2 months to actually get those projects going. And we are looking forward to seeing the completion of all those projects from the partner schools. If you need assistance regarding those connecting your partner schools with you in terms of completing those projects, please do not hesitate to communicate with us, and we can make sure you're connected back to your schools, so your partner schools in Australia, getting those projects over. Once again, thank you, Drew, for all the work that you've put together.
Beautiful, thank you. And I think what I'm going to do is, I didn't tell them I'm going to do this, but I'm going to bring everyone back in out of the team. And just to say hello and goodbye again. Mary's already in there. We'll have maybe this view. There we go. And look at all those lovely faces. So a massive thank you to this team, and especially though a massive thank you to all of you. So we're going to run the video again for us. So everyone can enjoy that again if you want. If you want to hang around and ask some more questions in the chat, we'll be on for another 3 or 4 minutes. Otherwise, just contact us through the normal channels for any support on the WaSH-W design project. So thank you very much from all of us. Stay safe and enjoy this video.
Who knew that life depends on washing of hands? Who knew that isolating yourself from the society was saving the society?
Rule number 1 in school, sitting one to a desk. This will prevent them from contacting with coronavirus through sharing objects and touching each other.
How can I be a social being when I'm told to be isolated?
inside is making time go by so slow.
A kid, an insidious thief, started with a few, now with a million. He may find you, for he's an infectious villain.
Masks and sanitizers, our shield to defense. Human bonding that once ties us became our greatest defense.
Just a breath is all it takes to be infected. Wear a mask and it will be prevented. Stay sanitized to prevent the nation from being traumatized.